Imagine walking through a garden, enjoying the harmony of colors and fragrances, only to realize you are invisible to another who walks beside you. This stark imagery mirrors the subtle yet profound realization that sometimes, in relationships, our presence is not as valued as we might hope. The Stoics teach us that he who values his own worth, depending on others' opinions, lives in constant fear. When we hinge our self-esteem on how others treat us, our emotional well-being becomes as fluctuating as the tides, swayed by every disregard or slight. If this topic resonates with you, if it sparks a recognition of your own experiences or a desire to cultivate a more self-sufficient source of worth, then I encourage you to subscribe to our channel. Dive deeper with us into the teachings of Stoicism and learn how to apply these ancient principles to modern relationships. Join us as we unravel the complexities of valuation in relationships through Stoic eyes, aiming not just to identify the signs of disregard, but to respond to them with wisdom and equanimity. Remember, subscribing and engaging with our content is more than just a click. It's a step towards a more mindful and resilient way of living, recognizing emotional unavailability. In the realm of relationships, emotional unavailability can often be a significant indicator that one partner does not truly value the other. This lesson dives into the Stoic interpretation of emotional unavailability, helping us identify and understand this behavior, not just to criticize or blame, but to respond wisely and protect our well-being. Emotional unavailability in a partner can manifest in various forms, but at its core, it denotes a lack of emotional depth and engagement in the relationship. Such behaviors signal a detachment that is often not about you or your worth, but reflects the other person's limitations or choices. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing emotional unavailability involves observing these behaviors without judgment and understanding that we cannot control another's emotions, but only our reactions to them. When faced with a partner who is emotionally unavailable, the first step is to communicate openly about your observations and feelings. Expressing your needs clearly and calmly can sometimes prompt a change. However, if the pattern persists, it's crucial to evaluate the impact of this unavailability on your happiness and well-being. In cultivating our response to emotional unavailability, Stoics would employ practices like reflection and self-sufficiency. Reflect on what this relationship teaches you about your needs and boundaries. Develop self-sufficiency by finding fulfillment in your virtues and activities, rather than depending solely on your relationship for emotional satisfaction. This lesson ultimately guides us to seek inner peace and self-respect in the face of emotional unavailability. By focusing on what we can control, our self-worth, our responses, and our decisions, we align more closely with Stoic principles, fostering resilience and independence in our emotional lives. The Stoic response to neglect in relationships. Neglect, a painful form of disregard in relationships, can often signal a lack of value and respect. This lesson explores how Stoicism teaches us to understand and respond to signs of neglect, fostering resilience and self-respect without harboring resentment or bitterness. Neglect can manifest in various ways. It may be the persistent inattention to your needs and feelings, the failure to share in responsibilities, or a lack of interest in the activities and passions that light you up. A key Stoic principle is to differentiate between what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, famously said, "Some things are up to us and some are not up to us." When faced with neglect, the Stoic response involves first observing the situation with detachment and identifying whether these behaviors are patterns or isolated incidents. This assessment should be done rationally, without letting emotions cloud our judgment. If a pattern of neglect is evident, Communicate your observations and feelings clearly and calmly to your partner. If the neglect continues despite attempts to address it, Stoicism teaches us to reevaluate our commitment to the relationship. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, advises, "As long as what you are doing is not immoral, you are free to choose your own path." Moreover, in responding to neglect, cultivate self-sufficiency, finding joy and fulfillment in personal achievements and inner growth, rather than relying solely on relationships to provide happiness. In conclusion, Lesson 2 teaches this Stoic guidance. We learn to protect our self-esteem and nurture our capacity for self-reliance, ensuring that our relationships enhance rather than diminish our quality of life. Stoic insights on disrespect and how to address it. Disrespect in relationships can be subtle or overt, but regardless of its form, it challenges our self-respect and demands a thoughtful response. This lesson delves into Stoic philosophy to equip us with strategies for dealing with disrespect, emphasizing the maintenance of dignity and personal peace. Epictetus once stated, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation." This implies that while we cannot control another's disrespectful behavior, we have complete control over our reactions. Recognizing this empowers us not to be victimized by external actions and to maintain our inner calm. If the disrespectful behavior persists despite attempts at resolution, Stoicism encourages us to evaluate the value of the relationship versus the cost to our well-being. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In summary, Lesson 3 offers a Stoic perspective on managing disrespect, advocating for a measured, thoughtful response that upholds our dignity and aims for a peaceful resolution. It encourages us to communicate effectively, set firm boundaries, and, if necessary, make the difficult choice to leave situations that persistently harm us. Through Stoic wisdom, we learn to navigate disrespect not with bitterness or passivity, but with strength, clarity, and respect for ourselves.
Stoic wisdom on handling manipulative behaviors. Manipulative behaviors in relationships can be particularly challenging to address. They often involve subtle tactics like guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or emotional coercion, making you question your own perceptions and values. This lesson explores how Stoicism, with its emphasis on reason, integrity, and personal autonomy, provides a powerful framework for recognizing and responding to manipulation. Stoic philosophy teaches us to maintain our inner fortress, safeguarding our rational mind against external disturbances, including manipulative behaviors. Epictetus advises, "Be not swept off your feet by the vividness of the impression, but say, 'Impression, wait for me a little. Let me see what you are and what you represent. Let me test you.'" Applying this, when we suspect manipulation, we should pause and critically assess the situation. Once manipulation is identified, Stoicism encourages addressing the issue with direct and honest communication. This involves confronting the individual about their behavior in a straightforward and calm manner, discussing how it affects the relationship, and expressing the need for change. If the manipulative behaviors persist, Stoicism advocates for practicing self-preservation through detachment. This doesn't mean ending the relationship immediately, but gradually reducing the emotional dependency on the person exhibiting manipulative tendencies. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Withdraw into yourself as far as you can. Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." In addition to restructuring relationships, Stoicism also emphasizes the development of virtues such as courage and justice. In conclusion, Lesson 4 from Stoic teachings equips us with the strategies to detect, confront, and mitigate manipulative behaviors in relationships. By strengthening our rational faculties, asserting our personal boundaries, and fostering meaningful connections, we can navigate complex interpersonal dynamics with wisdom and integrity, ensuring our relationships enhance rather than hinder our pursuit of a virtuous life. Understanding and responding to passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive behavior in relationships can be particularly insidious and damaging, as it often manifests subtly through sarcasm, silent treatment, or backhanded compliments. Stoicism teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control: our responses, perceptions, and actions. When confronted with passive-aggressive behavior, the first step is to recognize it for what it is: an expression of discontent or dissatisfaction that is not being directly communicated. Once we have identified the behavior as passive-aggressive, the Stoic approach involves responding with calmness and clarity. This might mean addressing the behavior directly and constructively, asking questions to encourage open dialogue, or expressing how the behavior affects you and the relationship. However, if direct confrontation does not lead to a change in behavior, or if the passive-aggressive actions escalate, Stoicism advocates for practicing emotional detachment. This involves emotionally distancing oneself from the impact of the other person's behavior, focusing instead on maintaining one's own peace of mind and well-being. Viewing the behavior through this lens can foster compassion and a more measured response. It's important, however, to balance empathy with the need to protect oneself from ongoing negative behavior, which might ultimately involve reducing contact with or withdrawing from relationships that are persistently harmful. In sum, Lesson 5 offers Stoic wisdom on dealing with passive-aggressive behavior in relationships by advocating for recognition, direct communication, emotional detachment, and self-reflection. Through these practices, we can navigate complex interpersonal challenges with grace and resilience, staying true to our values and maintaining our mental and emotional health. Stoic strategies for confronting dishonesty. Dishonesty in relationships can undermine trust and create a foundation of insecurity and suspicion. This lesson draws from Stoic philosophy to provide strategies for effectively confronting dishonesty, reinforcing trust, and promoting integrity within our personal interactions. Stoicism teaches us to face life's challenges with a focus on what we can control: our actions, reactions, and personal virtue. When confronted with dishonesty, it's crucial to remember that while we cannot control another person's choice to be untruthful, we can control our response to this behavior. Confronting dishonesty begins with open and honest communication. It involves expressing your awareness of the dishonesty and discussing its implications for the relationship. If dishonesty persists despite these efforts, Stoicism advises us to reflect on the value and viability of maintaining the relationship. Marcus Aurelius wrote about the importance of associating with people who inspire us to be better and more virtuous. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate virtues such as wisdom and justice in ourselves, which can serve as a guide in handling dishonesty. In summary, Lesson 6 provides Stoic insights into dealing with dishonesty in relationships. By maintaining emotional control, engaging in open communication, reassessing relationships, cultivating personal virtues, and reinforcing our own integrity, we can navigate these challenges with clarity and strength. These Stoic strategies not only help manage dishonesty when it arises, but also enhance our overall resilience and ethical grounding in all of life's relationships. Addressing overdependence in relationships with Stoic independence. Overdependence in relationships can lead to a loss of personal autonomy and a diminishing of one's own needs and desires. Stoicism teaches the importance of self-sufficiency and personal independence, not in the sense of isolation, but in fostering an inner strength that allows one to be self-reliant in emotional and practical matters. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus stated, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life." Dependence in relationships. The first step in confronting overdependence is self-reflection. It involves examining the reasons behind one's dependence, whether it stems from fear of loneliness, low self-esteem, or past experiences that have shaped such behaviors. Once recognized, the next step is to cultivate practices that enhance personal independence. This includes setting personal goals, pursuing interests and hobbies outside of the relationship, and establishing a supportive network of friends and family. Stoic teachings also emphasize the virtue of courage, which in this context relates to facing the discomfort that may come with seeking greater independence in a relationship. Moreover, Stoicism promotes the idea of mutual respect and equality in relationships. Overdependence can often skew these dynamics, leading to an imbalance where one partner's needs overshadow the other's. In conclusion, Lesson 7 from Stoic philosophy offers valuable insights into managing overdependence in relationships. This not only enhances personal freedom and autonomy, but also enriches the relationship, making it a union of two strong, independent individuals who choose to be together, not out of need, but out of a genuine desire to share their lives. Embracing change and uncertainty in relationships through Stoicism. Change and uncertainty are inevitable aspects of life, including in relationships. This lesson draws on Stoic philosophy to help us navigate these often challenging waters with grace and resilience, ensuring that we grow both individually and as partners. To effectively deal with change and uncertainty in relationships, Stoicism advises us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and responses. We cannot control the future, nor can we predict it with absolute certainty, but we can control how we prepare for whatever might come. This involves cultivating virtues such as flexibility, courage, and wisdom. These virtues enable us to face changes and challenges head-on, make informed decisions, and maintain emotional stability. Communicating openly and regularly about evolving needs and expectations is also crucial in managing change within relationships. For instance, discussing future goals, potential challenges, and mutual feelings about important decisions can fortify a relationship against the strains of change. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to practice detachment from overly specific outcomes. As Epictetus put it, demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well. Lastly, embracing change and uncertainty involves continual self-reflection and personal development. Each partner should strive to be self-sufficient in their happiness and well-being, reducing the burden on the relationship to fulfill all personal needs. In summary, Lesson 9 from Stoic teachings provides a philosophical guide for embracing change and managing uncertainty in relationships. By focusing on personal virtue, open communication, detachment from fixed outcomes, and continuous self-improvement, we can navigate the complexities of love and partnership with Stoic calm and insight, making the most of our shared experiences and individual journeys.
Cultivating mutual respect and equality in Stoic relationships. Mutual respect and equality are pillars of any strong relationship, and Stoicism provides valuable insights into nurturing these qualities. This lesson delves into how Stoic principles guide us to foster a respectful and equitable partnership, emphasizing the importance of virtue and rational discourse in maintaining a balanced relationship. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of respect is deeply intertwined with the idea of virtue. Respect in relationships is seen not merely as polite conduct, but as a profound appreciation for the other person's humanity and inherent value. Stoics believe that every individual possesses the capacity for reason and virtue, and thus deserves respect. This respect is expressed through actions and words that acknowledge the partner's worth and contributions to the relationship. Equality in Stoic relationships is based on the idea that both partners contribute uniquely and significantly to the partnership, regardless of their roles or societal status. This is grounded in the Stoic view that all external distinctions like wealth, social status, or gender are indifferent in terms of moral worth. What matters in Stoic thought is the virtue each person brings to the table. As Seneca wrote, "Virtue alone is sufficient to live a life of happiness and tranquility without unease." Thus, in relationships, it's essential that both partners view each other as equals, each capable of reason and worthy of happiness. Practically, cultivating mutual respect and equality involves consistently practicing virtues such as honesty, justice, and kindness. Each partner should strive to be truthful in their interactions, fair in their judgments, and considerate in their actions. This consistent practice of virtue fosters a deep and enduring respect, as each partner recognizes and values the good within the other. Furthermore, Stoicism teaches us to engage in open and rational discourse as a means of resolving conflicts and making decisions together. This approach ensures that both partners have a voice in the relationship, promoting an atmosphere of mutual respect and shared responsibility. By discussing issues calmly and logically, partners can arrive at decisions that reflect both of their insights and concerns, reinforcing the equality between them. Another aspect of fostering mutual respect and equality is acknowledging and addressing any imbalances or grievances in the relationship. Stoicism encourages us to reflect on our behaviors and adjust them if they are not contributing to a healthy and balanced partnership. This might involve recognizing areas where one partner may feel undervalued or overlooked and taking steps to rectify such situations. In conclusion, Lesson 10 underscores the Stoic commitment to mutual respect and equality as essential components of a fulfilling relationship. By valuing each other's virtues, engaging in honest and rational discourse, and striving for balance and fairness, partners can cultivate a relationship that not only withstands the challenges of time, but also enriches the lives of both individuals. This Stoic approach to relationships offers a path toward not only personal contentment, but also profound mutual fulfillment. Nurturing emotional integrity and openness in Stoic relationships. Emotional integrity and openness are crucial for the depth and longevity of any relationship. This lesson explores how Stoic philosophy encourages the cultivation of these attributes, highlighting the importance of honesty and vulnerability in fostering a sincere and supportive partnership. Openness in relationships refers to the willingness to share one's thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment or rejection. Stoicism promotes this kind of openness by valuing the virtue of courage, which includes the bravery to be vulnerable and the strength to be receptive to others' vulnerabilities. Practically, nurturing emotional integrity and openness involves regular, open dialogues where both partners feel safe to express their true selves. These conversations should be approached with the intention to understand rather than to respond or judge. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us not to shy away from discussing difficult or uncomfortable topics. Additionally, cultivating emotional integrity and openness requires that we practice empathy and patience. Recognizing and respecting each other's emotional experiences, even when they differ from our own, is crucial. The Stoic concept of sympathy, as described by the early Stoics, involves the idea that all people are manifestations of the same universal reason and therefore deserve understanding and compassion. In conclusion, Lesson 11 from Stoic teachings enhances relationships by advocating for emotional integrity and openness. By being honest about our emotions, listening actively, discussing difficult subjects openly, and showing empathy, we embody the Stoic virtues in our relationships. These practices not only strengthen our connections, but also enrich our lives with deeper understanding and mutual respect, paving the way for a more fulfilled and harmonious coexistence. Nurturing emotional integrity and openness in Stoic relationships. Emotional integrity and openness are crucial for the depth and longevity of any relationship. This lesson explores how Stoic philosophy encourages the cultivation of these attributes, highlighting the importance of honesty and vulnerability in fostering a sincere and supportive partnership. Openness in relationships refers to the willingness to share one's thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment or rejection. Stoicism promotes this kind of openness by valuing the virtue of courage, which includes the bravery to be vulnerable and the strength to be receptive to others' vulnerabilities. Practically, nurturing emotional integrity and openness involves regular, open dialogues where both partners feel safe to express their true selves. These conversations should be approached with the intention to understand rather than to respond or judge. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us not to shy away from discussing difficult or uncomfortable topics. Additionally, cultivating emotional integrity and openness requires that we practice empathy and patience. Recognizing and respecting each other's emotional experiences, even when they differ from our own, is crucial. The Stoic concept of sympathy, as described by the early Stoics, involves the idea that all people are manifestations of the same universal reason and therefore deserve understanding and compassion. In conclusion, Lesson 11 from Stoic teachings enhances relationships by advocating for emotional integrity and openness. By being honest about our emotions, listening actively, discussing difficult subjects openly, and showing empathy, we embody the Stoic virtues in our relationships. These practices not only strengthen our connections, but also enrich our lives with deeper understanding and mutual respect, paving the way for a more fulfilled and harmonious coexistence. Stoic resilience in facing relationship challenges. Resilience in relationships is about navigating through difficulties and emerging stronger, both as individuals and as a couple. This lesson leverages Stoic philosophy to outline how we can cultivate resilience, allowing us to handle the inevitable challenges that arise in relationships with grace and fortitude. Stoicism teaches that hardships are a natural part of life, and that our character and wisdom are tested and developed through these challenges. As Seneca, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, put it, "Fire tests gold, suffering tests brave men." In the context of relationships, this means embracing difficulties as opportunities to strengthen the bond and deepen understanding between partners. Resilience is not about avoiding conflicts or challenges, but about facing them head-on with a clear mind and a steady heart. The first step in cultivating relationship resilience is to maintain a shared commitment to seeing challenges as growth opportunities. This involves setting a mutual intention to learn from each experience, whether it's a minor disagreement or a significant conflict. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of maintaining personal virtues such as patience, empathy, and integrity during times of stress. Communication is another critical component of relationship resilience. Stoic wisdom encourages open and honest communication that is free of blame and judgment. Moreover, Stoics advocate for maintaining a degree of independence within relationships. This independence refers to the ability to find happiness and satisfaction within oneself, without being overly dependent on the relationship for emotional fulfillment. In summary, Lesson 12 from Stoic teachings provides a roadmap for building resilience in relationships by embracing challenges as opportunities for growth, practicing key virtues, communicating effectively, maintaining personal independence, and engaging in regular reflection. These Stoic principles help couples navigate the complexities of their partnership with wisdom and mutual respect, leading to a stronger, more enduring connection. As we conclude this series on the Stoic approach to navigating relationship challenges, remember that the essence of Stoicism isn't just about enduring life's trials, but thriving through them with grace and wisdom. Each lesson we've explored offers more than just strategies. They provide a philosophy for a fulfilled and balanced life, deeply rooted in understanding and resilience. If these insights have resonated with you, sparking moments of realization or inspiring changes in your own relationship dynamics, then this is just the beginning. Our journey through Stoic principles is a path of continuous growth and discovery. To keep traveling this path together, ensure you're subscribed to our channel. Your engagement helps us grow a community where collective wisdom empowers individual transformation. Don't just passively watch the unfoldment of these teachings. Participate actively, like this video if you found it insightful, and share it to help spread the profound simplicity of Stoic wisdom. Engage with us in the comments below by sharing how these lessons have influenced your relationship approach. If you've felt a shift in how you perceive and handle relationship challenges, comment "mind over body" to signify your mastery over emotional responses and your commitment to nurturing a Stoic mindset in all aspects of life. Every like, every share, and every comment not only supports our channel, but also spreads these timeless teachings to those who might be seeking guidance on their own relational paths. So, take that small but impactful action, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to not miss any content that could make a significant difference in your life and the lives of others around you. Thank you for being part of this philosophical journey. Continue to reflect, to challenge yourself, and to grow. Until next time, live intentionally, love wisely, and engage with life's challenges with the courage and clarity of a true Stoic.